everybody. Welcome to the show. It is Hump Day, and you have joined Back to the Window with Scott and Scott. I am your host, Scott Steen, lead handicapper at winnersandwhiners.com.
And I'm your co-host, Scott Rochelle, senior handicapper over winnersandwhiners.com.
And together we do this each and every day, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central. And Scott, I'd just like to open the show and say, fuck! Okay, there you go. It's for Tyreek Hill, everybody. That
happened very quickly, didn't it?
It really did. I mean, seriously, I woke up and I see him start to talk about, well, we've had a stall in extending Tyreek Hill. Hour and a half later, he's gone. So, yeah, it's not a good thing. Not a good thing at all. Not a good day to be a Chiefs fan. However, I do have something to cheer up Chiefs fans or Kansas City fans. If you're from Kansas City, you're depressed today. Here's a little clip from yesterday just to lighten it up.
They're down 3-2. And there's a ball well struck. Deep left center field, and that ball is long gone. Almost hit the scoreboard.
Bobby Witt Jr., everybody. That's one for the Royals fans.
How far do you think that went? Like 450?
Well, the fence was 379, and he jacked it over the berm. So I'd think that's really close to 450, probably in the 440, 450 range. So it's good to be here, everybody. Hope everybody had a great day yesterday. Scott, how'd your gambling day go? You do all right?
Not too well. Wendell Carter Jr. killed me. I had him over 9.5 rebounds. He had 7 with about 21 minutes left in the game. And then he had 1 rebound the rest of the game.
Brutal. Absolutely brutal. What just happened said, fins up, baby. We might win double digits this year. God, I hope they planned on handing the ball in the end around a lot. I don't know. Have they got a quarterback that we don't know about, Scott, down there in Miami?
I think Brissett's not there anymore. No, but Tua's okay. I don't think he's amazing. We'll see how it goes with the brand new coach. Maybe they'll click. I mean, hell, McVay made Jared Goff look pretty good for about a year or so. So maybe they can catch lightning in a bottle. Long term, I still don't think Tua is the answer. But Waddle and Hill, is that the best wide receiver duo in the league at this point?
Well, I'm sure if we say yes, we'll be absolutely roasted by everybody. Probably from what, the L.A.
I'm just asking because L.A. is Odell signed a 1-year deal though. Is right. He back in? Is he back in Los Angeles? Or is he a free agent?
Well, I'm assuming he's coming back with the injury, and
okay.
Odell.
And of course, Antonio Brown's not there anymore. I mean, you still have Evans and Godwin.
Yeah.
For Tampa, I don't know about Godwin off the injury. It's easily a top 3 wide receiver tandem in the league.
Yeah. Absolutely. Tua says Tua can throw it 3 yards is what just happened. That's all you need for a cheetah. Miami fans, you're gonna love the shit out of this guy. He's gonna do things. He's gonna make plays that you didn't think was possible before now. So congratulations, you're getting a hell of a player. And by all accounts, pretty good dude. Obviously had well-documented troubles in college, but has been a pretty good citizen here in Kansas City. So, and officially, you got to do what you got to do. Congratulations to Tyreek Hill cashing in. He is a player of extraordinary talent. He gave us some good years here. Gave us a championship. And the bottom line, Scott, you can't pay $70 million to 2 players and hope to build the rest of your roster. Just can't do it. Oh, I figured Bronco Devil be checking in. He's here to gloat. You knew that was coming. King Me's in the house. T-Train, what's up, Tony? Who scores for Anaheim tonight? Terry again, Zegras or Milano?
Scott? I don't mind Terry. I mean, Terry's been pretty solid for Anaheim this season. They haven't been a good team, but they got some young talent. I don't mind Terry again.
Very good.
I think Zegras is okay. I think he's more of a facilitator, but I'd probably go Terry.
Okay, good enough. James S. says he almost threw away his St. Bonnie's ticket last night. He had St. Bonnie on the money line and the under. Scott, you and I were talking about that game before the show. I watched the end of that game here just a minute ago, and yeah, Bonaventure was down 4 points with less than 30 seconds left, and Virginia, once again, it all comes down to here's an idea: make a free throw. Can't do it. Missed the front end of 1-1, and that pretty much cooked him. So the under was a pretty solid bet. Peter Wolf in the house. Peter, getting psyched for a big weekend. Hopefully a big weekend. Hopefully it'll be 2 days. I know Peter's a big, ironically enough, St. Peter's fan. So his daughter is your daughter is a professor there, or son, Peter? One of his offspring is a professor at St. Peter, so that's got to be cool. Big X in the house. What's up, Big X? Bronco Devil says F Virginia. Lost my parlay. Sorry, buddy. What does everybody think of Texas A&M tonight? -3. Hell of a defense. Scott, can they score enough?
I think they could. Of course, Wake Forest would have been a tournament team had they not completely just butchered the game against Boston College.
Bad
So
team.
you can make an argument that both these teams were in a great opportunity to make the tournament. A&M just got hosed. I don't really have much more to add.
A&M did about all you could. I mean,
A&M did what they had to do. They just got
lost to
hosed.
Tennessee in the finals, but
yeah, I'm going with A&M. I just think they're the better team.
I think you have to. I think and I'll tell you why. At least part of the reason for me is I've counted on Wake Forest a couple times this year, and they've absolutely let me down. Wake Forest, I don't know that you're quite fucking dead to me, but you are on life support. I like this A&M defense, man. This is a defense that hasn't given up more than 65 points in their last 5 games, all against, I think, what is better competition than what they're playing tonight. Well, with the exception of Alcorn State, but they gave up more to Alcorn State than they did to Oregon, Scott.
I just like the part that involves A&M actually being at home. They're not in the neutral site portion yet of the NIT. So you're getting A&M at home where they went 15-4 straight up in the regular season against Wake Forest, who went 5-5 on the road. I do like A&M there in Texas.
I'm with you. Peter Wolf says oldest daughters were professor there. That was what my first thought was. So, yep, congratulations. Good luck. JC Stone. The Peacocks. That started last year when we started doing, was it Brad Peacock?
I'm trying to remember who
was it the year before? Was there another Peacock?
It was either Brad or Matt.
Could have been Matt. It could have been started with Matt.
I don't know. It was one of the Peacocks.
Bronco should be the St. Peter's Wolf. No, never. It's the Peacocks. Somebody asking about Washington State tonight. Oh man, I find that the hardest college game on the card tonight. I mean, I know there's only 3, but
no, there's 4.
What's that?
There's 4.
Oh, you're right. I forgot UNC. The Cover Bowl.
Yeah.
Washington State, another team that plays pretty good defense. They are decent on the road, Scott. They're a decent cover team on the road. 7-5 against the number on the road, and BYU has been good at times this season, and they've been awful at times this season. We're gonna roll with the defense. What team shows up here, buddy?
I was tempted by the Cougars, but now you're looking at a situation where, well, you have the Cougars against the Cougars, right?
Cougars against Cougars. That's right.
That's what I'm saying. So I'll rephrase. I was interested in Washington State.
Scott just said he was tempted by the Cougars, by the way. I'm sure that happens frequently, doesn't it?
Well, I never leave the house, so not as often as you think. But either way, I was tempted by Washington State plus 3.5. Now it's down to 1.5. At this point, I kind of like BYU at home.
Okay.
It seems a little too short. I like the under. I think Washington State keeps the game close. I think it'll be pretty ugly. But BYU only laying 1.5 at home where they're 14-2 straight up on the season. I'm going to go with the Cougars. The BYU Cougars.
The BYU. I'm going with the Cougars. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
James says he got the under on that game. We both like the under on Alley Show, didn't we?
Yeah.
We had the under there.
The only game we disagreed on was the A&M total.
Yep, absolutely. Roland Mims says happy hump day. You got the Boston Celtics play that you kind of liked and the Miami Heat -6.5. Scott? I know you said you kind of liked the Celtics in that spot. What about the Heat?
Well, Celtics were my play of the day. The Heat one, it's tricky because Golden State lost to Orlando yesterday. Disaster is showing there. It scored 90 points against Orlando, which is an absolute embarrassment.
Solid.
But Miami has so many question marks, and you said 6.5. Now they're favored by 10.
Yep, now it's 9.5. Yep.
I mean, Golden State punted the game.
Congratulations on getting a good number. CLV, baby. Got that CLV.
Well, Golden State officially announced, obviously, Curry's out indefinitely. Draymond's out for this game. Thompson's out for this game. Porter's out for this game. Yes, they're benching everybody besides Poole and Kuminga. So if you want some player props, I'm not taking Wiggins because he sucks, but I'd look for Poole or Kuminga to go over their points. As for Miami, though, Butler's questionable, Hero's questionable, Oladipo's questionable, Martin's questionable. I don't know who's playing. I guess I'm leaning Miami, but like under maybe. I don't know what the hell I want.
Yeah.
Do you?
I don't hate the under there. This is a Warriors team that's gone under 6 or last 7. I do like that. I wonder what the answer for Adebayo is going to be. Is one of those players that you always have to see who's going to be guarding him. So
It's going to be Looney, or they're going to try, but we'll see
Right.
what happens. But Golden State's bench squad has been okay filling in. I know they beat San Antonio earlier in the year. They hung around against Denver. So they've looked okay when everyone assumes they're going to get their ass kicked. I'm not sure if Miami's going to rest anybody after no showing against the Sixers bench, but I can't lay 10. I don't know who's going to play for Miami either.
I think it could be an okie doke spot. I might let this number go and see how high it gets, and then take a little buy low spot.
What just happened the last time the Heat let us down 2 days ago? I think 2 days ago they kicked my ass. Tell you that much.
No friend at all. Who was somebody's asking about Wilmington? I like the team that covers a lot.
I like the team that covers a lot, getting points. So I guess it's Wilmington or pass.
We were talking about that before the show. Wilmington 13-4 against the number as a dog, and the Middle Tennessee State Blue Raiders 16-3 is a favorite.
It's really a game where phenomenal. You should watch out of just, I'd say, betting loyalty, because both teams, I'm sure, made a lot of people a lot of money this season.
Absolutely.
I'm expecting a nail biter. I've always gravitated more to Wilmington, even though they killed us in the CAA title game, where they blew that lead against Delaware. Pretty bad beat there, but still, I guess I'm leaning Wilmington because they're getting points. 4.5 does seem a little bit large. I just don't think BU was that good. So I think the lines might overreact to how Middle Tennessee State played yesterday.
Yeah, I agree. It's to me, and these two teams are very similar. Not just their cover numbers, but they're very similar teams. They both play decent defense, very good offenses. You know what? I've got to take the points there with you as well. Yeah. Just parlays went 4-0 and 8-2 yesterday.
Doesn't surprise me.
JR Black. No, it's solid picks. We tell you pretty much every day to make sure that you listen to everybody on the Max Wagers Network. And of course, we always have a special affinity for our pals Jim and Chris over at Just Parlays. Number one, because they're good guys and they're friends of ours. Number two, it's unbelievable. He's fucking hitting parlays like left and right. Just unreal. So,
by the way, Bronco, to answer that question, if you have to watch Ooey Pooey, maybe once out of the year, just for loyalty, if you made money fading them the entire season. Of course, you can't anymore. I know last year, for example, OKC had that massive tank job where they didn't cover a point spread for about a month. I'm sure you remember that.
Vaguely aware, yeah.
Let's just say I went out of my way to watch a couple of Oklahoma City games.
You have to. You have to go, are they really that bad?
Are you going to avoid watching any car accidents? You got to watch a couple, you know?
Speaking of which, we'll be back on our racing show on Friday. Yeah. The newly minted Left Turn Mania will be back and in action on Friday after our normal
We
show.
skipped last week because, to be honest, I was in Vegas, so I was a bit busy, but also it was a brand new race. We didn't want to take a full crapshoot.
Well, yeah, and the other thing was it was college basketball all day, every day over the
Nobody
week.
cared about NASCAR that week and whatever.
And again, NASCAR is not our number one sport. We had some fun with it during the pandemic. We did pretty well. We thought we'd bring it back. He watches it. He was excited. We've had a terrible year for starters, but we didn't want to compound that. Like Scott said, going to Atlanta, new surface, new car design, and they also had
restrictor plates
for the first time ever. So anybody, I don't care what kind of expert you were, if you had listened to somebody talk about NASCAR and they go, I know who's going to, you had no fucking idea. No.
Of course, some people I'm sure said they knew everything because they picked Byron to win and he won. But at the end of the day, it was a randomly new speedway. And if you were backing blindly just speedway drivers, I guess that counts as handicapping, but kind of like there's no research to go off of.
Yep, agreed. 1777 memorabilia in the house. Ninja 13 says Middle Tennessee State Wilmington game over 136. Opened at 138.5, jumped to 140, and now it's plunged to 136. Why the drop?
I'm assuming because it's a title game. They're just expecting a little bit of tightness maybe in a neutral, if I had to guess.
And it could also be the situation with Josh Jefferson, too, because we talked about that yesterday. And you know if he ended up playing, Scott?
I actually don't. I just know that they were up 30 in like the middle of the second half.
So if he played, he probably didn't play much, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Or if he did, then, well, they didn't really need him because they were going to win that game by 20 anyway.
Yeah, that's my only thought, is that somebody's got some inside information on Josh Jefferson. Of course, is the leading scorer for Middle Tennessee State. I'm trying to see if I can find anything, and I wanted to see if he played yesterday and how he did.
I think I might lean under just because of the fact that Wilmington really did a great job against Northern Colorado defensively.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, oh, yeah,
So,
that was stunning. I had the over there. I love that play.
they clamped them.
Wilmington did everything you could ask. They put up 80.
Yeah.
You know, if you just said Wilmington's going to put up 80, how much do you want to play in the over? I'd have said a shit ton.
What was the number in that? 153.
It dropped, and we talked about it on the show, and I said, I advised right into the teeth of that fucking what appeared to be a sharp move. I said, go ahead, play the over. Still like the over. I think they put up 56 or something in the first half. We were
something like that. Yeah,
we were fucked at halftime. I know they put up 80 plus in the second half. Way too little, way too late in that one.
I'm assuming it's based on good defense and potential title game tightness. If I was thinking of an angle, but that would be my guess.
Yep. You got any thoughts on this total for this game?
For which one?
For the Middle Tennessee State game, you want to put you want?
I'm leaning under, but once again, I'm not going to actually have a play on the total.
To me, you just lost 4 points of value.
You're asking me what I would lean to in general. I'd lean to the under, but I'm not playing it.
All right, good enough. Hey, we got all excited talking about everything else, but let's catch up on yesterday, Scott, because there was some stuff going on. By the way, please remember to subscribe, to like, all that good stuff. You know the drill. Hit the thumb, hit the subscribe button. Get over there to Max Wagers Network. Get subscribed over there. I know we've got a ton of folks that watch, so please make that just a little bit of effort there and do that for us. We would appreciate it, of course. And don't forget to get entered in the contest. It's I have the copy in front of me. I'm trying to remember the exact name of the contest because it's a really cool thing, Scott. Nope, I have it yesterday, but it's basically 15 questions, and it's going to be over the Elite Eight game starting on Saturday. Excuse me. There's going to be totals, going to be sides, and going to be some player props. Anybody gets all 15 right, 10 grand right in your pocket. If that doesn't happen, the person who gets the most right going to win 1,000. There's other prizes as well. Absolutely free to sign up. So the good news is all the notes are in the show description. So make sure the links and everything, make sure you check that out and check out, check out our Sweet 16 guide that they're furiously finishing up right now. And the link there is there as well. Any thoughts on that, Scott?
No, I feel like you kind of touched on everything.
All right. That's where you were supposed to kill for about 30 seconds there.
Yeah, I know. I recognize it, but I wanted to make sure that we got the shot of you drinking something.
Douchebag. Okay. So let's talk about what happened yesterday. There was some good news out there. Wasn't necessarily for Chiefs fans. Okay, I'm gonna let it go now. All right, very good. All right. It wasn't there was some good news, Scott. There were some winners and there were some whiners. There were some people that as we like to say took it in the shorts. And there were some people that took it to the bank. Let's find out whose camp you are in as we reveal the Hump Day edition of Call the Cops. All right, very good. If you had Xavier minus the 2.5, did you have that play personally, Scott?
I did not, but I actually watched the ending of that game.
Yep.
I wish both of them could have lost because that was some of the worst execution I've seen in the final 20 seconds in a while.
They were going up against Vanderbilt. They led by 3 with a second left. God damn. They fouled. It's the play we always tell them to do, right, Scott?
Yeah, we always tell them to, but with 1 second left, you're cutting it pretty close.
They fouled him, of course, so they couldn't attempt the 3-pointer. Vanderbilt made 1 of the 2 free throws. That was
Xavier actually had an inbound, by the way, with 0.9 on the clock. So you had a shot there if Vandy got the immediate foul.
Yep.
And they turned it over on the inbound.
Yep. Absolutely. And
Yeah.
it took about 10 minutes to figure out who turned it over and what the hell was going on there on that
Oh, there
pass.
were about 4 reviews in the final 45 seconds. It was really painful to watch those final 40 seconds.
Absolutely brutal. Absolutely brutal. All right, buddy.
Well, if you had the Islanders team total under 2.5 against the Senators, well, you were in good shape because it was 0-0 with about 10 minutes left in the third period. Islanders scored a goal, and then Ottawa pulled the goalie once. The Islanders scored a second goal right before they were going to pull the goalie. And then down 2-0, Ottawa decided, you know what? Let's pull the goalie anyway. And the Islanders scored again.
Don't do it.
The Islanders went from no goals in about 50 minutes to 3 goals in 60 minutes. And you can rip up the under 2.5 ticket.
Brutal. Probably the beat of the day, huh?
Either that or Virginia money line.
Yeah. Oh.
I didn't even include Virginia money line because I figured we were going to get to it. Plus, we might mention that game in one of the other segments, but still, awesome. I mean, you have no goals through 50 and you lose a team total of 2.5 and 60. That's pretty rough.
Fucking ridiculous. Finally stayed in the NHL if you had the Hurricanes on the puck line, -1.5 against the Lightning. By the way, my Blues came through last night. Told you, buddy.
I said I liked the under in this game, and that ended up winning.
You're not going to talk about the one you picked wrong on the other side?
No.
Okay. They led 3-1 with 1 minute left. Hey, that's pretty good. That's more than 1.5, right, buddy?
Oh, they're about to pull the goalie, and you know that means you got an empty netter. Could be 4-1.
Oh, Lightning pulled the goalie. Here we go. Yep, there was a goal scored. Wrong team. Hurricanes. They win 3-2. Good God, if you had the Hurricanes -1.5, call the cops.
I think that paid out at around +170 to make it even rougher for people. But yeah, the under was 5.5. That got there.
Very good. All right. Well, there was some good news out there, and this is the people that were on the right side. Instead of burning your tickets, instead of tearing up your tickets, you're kissing your ticket. You're showing it to your friends. You're putting it on Twitter. You know who you are, you obnoxious motherfuckers. No, that's not true. You're a winner. That's who we like around here. Hey, let's find out. Scott, who was sitting in the rocking chair?
So, first one in hockey, if you had the Kings on the money line against the Predators, led 3-0 after the first period, and they won 6-1.
Very good. Very good. If you had St. Bonaventure, and Virginia, it just makes me chuckle to even mention that game.
Move.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a big time move for us. And if you had the under 123.5 in that game, congratulations. They put up 38 in the first half. You're already in your rocking chair at halftime. You've got a nice comfy spot. You got your cigar going. Yeah, no sweat at all. The game landed 103. It was a little tight there. We thought there might be a little overtime.
You might have survived in overtime, to be honest.
It still would have taken a much stronger 5 minutes than they played at any other point in the game to get it over from there. But yeah, he made both free throws, and that was your ball game. Congratulations, 52-51. St. Bonaventure moving on. And if you had the under 123.5, you're counting your money today. Congratulations.
And the last one, if you had cover machine UNC Wilmington -2 against Northern Colorado, led by 13 at the half, and they won by 16.
Yep. Now it's cover machine. I would like to know. I doubt if anybody's ever put this together, but are these the two most successful cover teams to ever face each other in the postseason, do you think?
It could be. I'm trying to think of what the spread or what the record ATS was for USC last year, because Drake played USC. And Drake covered like the first 20 games of the season. So I'm kind of curious.
Yeah, they were on fire. And then Drake this year was the exact opposite. They couldn't get out of the barn.
Well, that's expected though. You know, you overachieve 1 year, the market's overadjust, and then you go back down.
Absolutely. Scott, we haven't done one of these in a while. Let's do it. Let's get out our bottle of Jack Daniels, pass it around, make sure the odds makers get an extra big swig, because I pretty much I think they were drunk yesterday, buddy. It's hockey. Go ahead.
So, by the way, Tim, I originally had the Bucks in for the rocking chair, and I decided to give a brief brag about our farm, so I decided to switch it. But yes, the Bucks were also a rocking chair at -6. Anyway, for oddsmakers who are drunk, you had a nice matchup between the Rangers and the Devils in hockey. Game total was 6. which sounds a bit low because the Devils usually have 6 goals or in their games by the end of the second period. And what do you know? It's exactly what happened in this game. The Devils scored 7 goals by themselves. You had 7 goals combined after 2 periods, and the game ended 7-4.
Is the Devils over the New Presbyterian last year, Scott?
I mean, I've been taking overs for the Devils for a while. They've done well. Goal first 10's been pretty good too. For the Devils, yeah, it's definitely been a nice way to get paid. But I know Sherstegen was in net, so the Rangers have good defense, but you can't put the Devils at 6. It's kind of got to be 6.5 at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, and you've even seen some stronger numbers than that in games involving the Devils. So, all right, very good. Let's catch up on the comment section. I like the Seahawks yesterday, as we talked on the live show that Scott, Ninja checked in. Am I still having allergy issues? Yeah, I've got a little bit of today. It moved into my throat a little bit of coughing. I thought the allergy part, the sniffles and all that had gotten better, but today I woke up and of course it's crappy weather here too. It's about 50 and rainy, so yeah, I don't know. I'm all right. I still feel fine. It's just annoying. So anyway,
Fernando, to answer that question on a 2-team teaser, it varies. So read the actual rules. Yeah, read the rules of your book. Some have teasers that ties count as losses. Some count as pushes. Hell, even some count as wins. But you're not going to see that many of those for 2-teamers. Fernando, it's kind of a trick question.
I would say
depends on which book you use.
The majority
most have reduced. Wait, you think most are losses?
Yes. Yep.
I think it varies, but the point is check your book.
Chris Lyons checking in. I always talk to Chris because Chris is a nice guy, but he always roasts me when we lose. So especially me. He said he's checking in. Maybe he's the jinx. Sure, I'll put it on you, Chris. It's all your fault. No, it's just a weird bad stretch. And the weird thing is, you and I were cold kind of at the same time. I was going all right. You were cold, and I was cold. You were doing all right. But the farm never suffered. We had a couple losing farms in a row. So even the farm was a little worse than usual. But we still.
I don't think we've lost more than 2 or 3 farms in a row in 3 months.
It's been a while. It's been a while. So Chris, keep listening. And I promise it's going to get better. That's the way it is. Super Slices, his book uses a reduced payout for a push. That's very nice. Mm-hmm. That's what you're actually looking at. Thanks, Nathan. I appreciate it, buddy. Man, there's just not a lot. What do you guys looking at tonight? Has anybody put anything in there that I haven't missed?
So the thing is, it's mostly an NBA day, but the card in the NBA is definitely more quantity than quality.
Yeah, no question. Thanks, Eric, by the way, for the kind words. Just catching up there. What's your favorite? Let's do that. I know you took Boston as your play of the day. You and I talked about some other things that we kind of discarded.
I'll ask, do you have any thoughts on that Boston game?
On the Boston game?
Yeah.
They're
playing Utah in Boston.
No, I want to see who's healthy. No, I know what the game. I want to see who's not playing.
Boston's basically entirely healthy because Smart and Williams are supposed to be back. Boyan's still out for Utah.
Yep. Man, how are they going to win without Azubuike? You know what? I probably don't like it as much as you do. I know Bogdanovich is out, but
I just have a hard time going against the Celtics at this point.
Yeah, they are playing good basketball. They kind of jacked around a little bit with OKC, but for the most part they've been good. And of course, Utah's been better too, and Utah's been playing a little better basketball. To me, that's a lot of points to lay. I'm not.
You think 4.5 is too many?
Well, yeah, I've got it at 5 now.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd be tempted in the 3.5 range. 4, just with Gobert. I just don't know what's the answer for Gobert, buddy.
Well, Gobert's been terrible for the last couple of games, so I'm not sure if he's injured or something, but last 2 games he's been bad. He had 4 rebounds against the Nets, 4 in 31 minutes. I don't know what is going on with Gobert, but what I do know is that I mentioned it on my Play of the Day video. The Celtics are 22-4 straight up in their last 26 games. All 22 wins have been by at least 6 points. Isn't that kind of wild?
Yeah. Yep. It is. It's one of those things that sometimes you have to dig a little deeper to find those.
I had to count it to make sure. I'm like, that's by more than 6. I'm like, 22 wins, all by 6+ points. Like, wow, nobody's talking about that.
Tim Earle's got some plays. By the way, make sure that you listen to Tim and his brother Nick, as well as Detroit Lenny every day at 5 p.m. Eastern time doing Game Time Decision. He's got the Pistons plus 5.5, Grizzlies plus the 2, Celtics -5, Timberwolves +2, and he's got Florida Atlantic on the money line for NCAA baseball. We keep threatening to have Tim on to talk NCAA baseball. That is not something that I am particularly strong on. I like it. I watch it at least when it gets to the playoffs and regionals and things like that, the super regionals.
Yeah.
Scott,
I'm always behind the 8 ball for college baseball.
Yeah, we need to get Tim on. We need to stop just running our yap and get him on because he's a good cat. I like watching their show.
I think the one question I will ask Tim, because I feel like it's a tricky question that a lot of people deal with when they try to venture out into a new sport or a new league. Where exactly do you start when it comes to doing baseball research and what you should be looking for?
It's a good point. Are you looking for the same things that you're looking for with MLB? I'm assuming there'll be differences. The totals obviously are going to be different. They still use aluminum bats, right?
Yeah, they still use metal bats, but I really am curious where you're supposed to start and everything, because of course baseball, you inherently know most of the players in the actual league. Now in college, you have to dig up stats. I don't even know if ESPN has a stat sheet for baseball.
Longhorns have a great baseball team. Yes, they do.
I know they were number 1. Then Texas State beat them and they lost to like 4 in a row. But they were the preseason number 1. I know the basic stuff. I can't say I really know much about players.
Right. They use BB core bats that are more similar to a wood bat. Okay, so they're still aluminum, but they have like a hard core. I got you. Start with the conference. Started with the American and the ACC because I live in North Carolina and it's close. That's not a bad idea. Brock or Roman?
I'm going with. I'm assuming that's a wrestling question.
Yeah, we're going to be doing WrestleMania is a week from this weekend.
Yeah, I'm going with Roman Reigns. Just because you got to beat him at some point. It seems like Roman Reigns is built up as being. Of course, he's the face right now, but you kind of got to actually beat the damn guy once in your life. It seems like the crowd actually likes him now. I'm going Roman. You?
He keeps the streak alive.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, what is he? He's 0-for against Brock at this point?
I think he is. I don't think
he's
he's
like 0-12. Like
Brock Lesnar.
I'm assuming. Well, I'm assuming that Roman finally gets it done. But whatever.
Okay. All right. You know what? I'm going to save my pick for the show. I want to read a little more, but I have a hunch Lesnar might beat him. I think
if Lesnar wins, then I don't know what the hell they've been doing for the last year and a half. Well, just building up Roman to lose again.
See, here's the thing with guys like Lesnar, they sign these huge contracts and they only have to appear, 6 times a year, 8 times a year. So I want to know if they're plugging in Lesnar more to Raw and to SmackDown. Is he doing more weeklies or is he still just doing the big shows?
I think he's doing a couple more weekly, but not much. But at the end of the day, at some point, I'm expecting Roman to actually win one when you're being built up as this invincible force. I think it's a good spot for him to win. Just saying.
Bronco Devil says romaine or regular lettuce.
I'm not a lettuce guy, so
I'm romaine all day long. You mean that? Keep that shitty.
You're not an iceberg guy?
Fuck no. Unless you want to, people that give you the wedge. That's like gonna make your own pizza. What are you doing? You're just giving me a wedge and some shit around it. Fucking chop it up.
Is it ironic if they served iceberg lettuce in the Titanic?
I see what you did there. Yes.
Thank you. Get it? Because it's an iceberg with an iceberg.
Fernando Encina's prediction: pain. What's that from, Scott?
Rocky 3.
There you go. Look at that. You just jumped right into it.
Yeah. I know most of my sports movies, but my dad and I quote that every now and then. That exact line.
Okay, there you go. Very good.
Clubber Lang, one of the best movie villains of all time.
It's what's amazing is how tiny those guys both are.
Yeah,
they're both like what 5'8" or so, 5'8", 5'7".
Mr. T, yeah, he definitely wasn't the tallest guy.
No, but he's about the same size as Stallone.
Yeah, with the hair, max point probably 5'10".
Loved it when Brock got pounded by Kane in UFC. Yeah, he had a brief foray into the UFC, and it didn't.
Well, he had 2.
What's that?
He was champion in the UFC briefly, I believe. I think he was champion at one point.
Well, then
he came back like 5 years ago. He tested positive for steroids and everything. So he ended up having the win voided against Mark Hunt. My bet didn't get voided because I had Lesnar like plus 220, and that was one of the easiest cashes of my life. So, yeah, he's had a couple of, let's just say, experiments with the UFC.
What just happened has Fresno State minus 13. It's a lot of points to lay in a college basketball game with a team that runs that slow, and yet I did it. That's my play of the day. I like that.
I mean, for the Total Chaos show, I just leaned to the over, and it's gone up about 2 points.
Well, I've talked about it on mine, and I'll do it briefly here. You think of mid-major conferences, they're all pretty much equal. Youngstown State plays in the Horizon. Fresno State plays in the Mountain West. You're like, well, they're not a Power 5 school, blah, blah, blah. Here's the deal. Wright State, the best Horizon team in the nation. Or in the conference, rather. They were ranked 175 on KenPom. Scott, there's 11 Mountain West schools. You want to guess how many of them were ranked higher than 175?
0.
9.
Okay.
9 were better than 175. The only two teams
Okay,
worse.
so I flipped it. I thought you...
Yeah.
Okay.
So you thought higher, but a higher...
Yeah, my bad. I misinterpreted what you were
still not
asking.
sure I've mastered the high seed and low seed yet.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
don't feel bad. So, yeah, only Air Force and San Jose State were worse than that. And that's the best team. So there's a huge disparity in the conferences. Fresno State does well with big spreads. I think they just fucking hammer on them.
Yeah, I really thought you meant the other way around. So
No, I get that.
it wouldn't have been 9. It would have been like 2 if I was going with the inverse to your question.
Okay. All right. Yeah,
So
exactly.
whatever.
Exactly. No, and I give you credit for 0. 0 was pretty close to right. When I first started going through them, I thought it was going to be 0, but I go, oh, yeah, that's right. San Jose State's terrible. So a lot of people riding the Penguins. And, man, are those Penguins pissed because they've got those little short legs. They just waddle. You can't ride them. Stop it. I'm sorry, Scott. Youngstown State, a lot of people on them tonight. You see it?
It's 13 is so many points, but the Horizon League compared, it's definitely the weaker conference.
Yep, agreed.
Yeah, I just have thoughts on the over.
Pitt or Youngstown? What? What are we asking? Oh, Penguins.
Oh.
I'm assuming they were because we were talking about Youngstown. Does Pittsburgh play tonight? Penguins play tonight?
Let me check.
We'll do both Penguins. We don't care.
Yeah, they play Buffalo. They play Buffalo.
There you go. Give me the Penguins.
I was gonna say Pittsburgh by murder. I mean, they kill all the weaker teams all the time.
Give me Pittsburgh puck line, and give me Fresno State over those Penguins. That's
Buffalo has been pretty good lately, but Pittsburgh has as well. Totals at 6. I'm trying to think what I actually like here because both teams defensively have actually been pretty good for the last week and change, which sounds crazy because Buffalo's defensively has been such a mess the entire season.
Yep.
But recently, they gave up no goals against Calgary, which is extremely impressive. Gave up 2 goals against Vancouver, 2 goals against Toronto, 1 goal against Vegas. Defensively, they've been okay. I might actually lean to the under.
Yeah, I don't hate that because I wonder who's going to score. So, and Pittsburgh still pretty good goaltending. Fresno State threw up 28 3-pointers in the last game. They're going to play faster than normal. You and I talked about that on Alley's show. We both like the over there. And so does the rest of America, Scott. We are line movers because we had it at 130. It's now 133. Timmerl says Buffalo for the cup. Okay, buddy. God bless
Red
you.
Solo Cups.
But we both liked the over in that game, even though Fresno State was involved. So that's part of my theory behind picking that spread, that I think it's going to be a little higher number than we're used to seeing out of Fresno State games. So
yeah, I do want to ask you though, since of course we're saving a play in the NBA for later, but I don't really have many other thoughts on the NBA. To be honest, I did 2 podcasts on the NBA today, and I wasn't a big fan of the card, but we still went through every game. I am going to ask you, though, about how we started the show, because you started off with a brief, I'd say, noise about the trade that took place, and I am curious from a futures perspective.
Yep.
Do you think Kansas City still wins the division?
Because
that whole division's kind of gotten nuts.
Let me see what they do with their defense. If they've got to plug some holes. They've got to plug some holes on the defensive line. We need another edge rusher. They've addressed the defensive backfield sort of. We're really light on depth at linebacker. So as with every offseason, I go into it with serious questions about what the Chiefs are going to do on the draft. So, on the defensive side of the ball in the draft. So, I'd like to know, you got numbers anywhere? Have you seen them? I'm sure everything's down.
I will check, but I just figured it was worth asking because I'm sure a lot of people are focused only on the Super Bowl odds and how that's moved. I think Tua MVP went down to 40-1. If you want to waste your money, bet on that. But yeah, I feel like not enough people talk about the actual division odds. I don't think win totals are out yet. Let me just see what I can get.
I don't think win totals are out yet. Tim Earl says KC misses the playoffs. That's what happens when you give away too much money to the quarterback. Yeah, I'm not buying that. Although
Kansas City's still favored.
Yeah.
Kansas City's plus 165.
Okay.
Broncos are plus 220. Chargers are plus 275. And the Raiders are 7-1.
You know what? You come at the king, you best not miss.
I agree with the Raiders. I think the Raiders should be like 7-1. I know they got Devontae Adams. I know Max Crosby's good. I still don't like the defense. I'm not a fan of McDaniels as coach, so I do agree with the Raiders being last. You got Herbert and you got Wilson. I don't know. I think that division's going to be an absolute war. I don't know. Memorabilia, I do disagree with you, though. I think Vegas, even if you like the odds, I do think the Raiders are easily the worst team in that division.
Oh, without question.
Yeah.
JC Stone wants to know when we're going to do our MLB show. I think this is the way the schedule's you're going to strap out because we're going to do a wrestling show. We're going to do our NASCAR show. So number one, I think we're going to be doing double headers all next week. I think we'll do our baseball shows starting Monday after regular time. We'll go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for baseball. We'll go Thursday for WrestleMania, and we'll go Friday for NASCAR. Scott, clear your schedule.
Okay.
Yeah, Mahomes get the Raiders, Broncos, and Chargers. Brady had the Jets, crappy Bills, and the crappier Dolphins.
Oh no, and you got to mention who Brady has now. Brady has the Panthers, the Saints, and who Felipe Franks or Josh Rosen a quarterback?
Yeah, that's it.
Atlanta.
You've got Darnold, Felipe Franks.
Oh no, they got Mariota, didn't they? Didn't Atlanta get Mariota?
I don't care.
But I'm saying he would technically be the starter, wouldn't he?
I guess. I don't know.
That's the one bet I'm already looking into if you really want to make it a very, very early NFL bet. Buccaneers to win the division, minus 280. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you. I don't know how that's not 4-1. They're gonna kill everybody in that division.
Scott, Chris Lyons asking about the Nets tonight going up against the Morant-less Memphis Grizzlies. Yeah, I got to go Brooklyn there. Laying a 1.5. You got Kyrie.
I mean, the Grizzlies would be a playoff team without Morant, just based on record, because they've been so good without him. But Durant and Kyrie together just have so much scoring power. And the Grizzlies defensively are actually better without Morant. Offensively, they're worse. Not a surprise. I know they got Dylan Brooks back. They have Jaren Jackson, who's been good this season. But the Nets just have two unguardable guys. I'm going to go with the Nets because either of them can go for 40.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Nets, as you might suspect, they are absolutely fire on the road, 7-0-1 against the number of their last 8. So,
I'm going to fade Kyrie on his birthday. Come on, man.
What just happens that I genuinely enjoy the show, y'all. I'm going to try and dab in handicapping while in school. It's excellent mental break for an hour. Plus, I make money, usually at least enough to get a big gulp. There you go.
I'm going to ask you, though,
Tim,
what's your big gulp drink of choice? Were you a one drink guy or did you mix?
Me?
Yeah.
I did. Of all the bad food habits I have, and as you suspect,
you were never a 7-Eleven guy?
No. I don't drink soda without food. I've never been just a drive around, sit and drink soda at my desk. I'm either drinking water, I'm drinking green tea. I do like a frosty beverage, soda with dinner. Coke, Mountain Dew is my favorite.
I might have cheated back in the day. I would fill up the big gulp with Slurpee and then pay big gulp prices for the Slurpee.
Oh, man.
Pretty degenerate, but I did it.
Stealing. A&M minus 2.5. Yeah, we are reluctantly. It's basically about the defense. Tim Earl points out the Grizzlies are 14-2 without Ja. Yeah.
We
talked about that. And their record against the number is very good as well. I just like this Nets. If it was against anybody else, I'd be tempted. But this Nets team on the road, I think that's a machine right there, bud.
Yeah, James, I kind of quit soda, mostly for college because the water was free and the soda was actually expensive. So I just did it for saving money. But yeah, for the most part, the only drink I'll have now soda related is probably ginger ale, a little bit, like not
Okay.
much.
All right, very good. Yeah, I've limited myself to 1 sugar soda per week and 1 diet soda per week.
I do acknowledge though that Mountain Dew is delicious.
It's the best. It's the best. Mountain Dew with a shot of Jack Daniels. I'm a purist when it comes to my bourbon. I don't like mixing it with anything, and I really don't like it mixing with anything sweet. I'm just not. My son drinks Jack and Coke. I no, just fucking no.
Remember in high school a couple of times we would pour some vodka into blue raspberry Slurpees. That was dangerously good.
I could get behind that.
Yeah.
Magic Thunder. Somebody asking about that, and we might have a play on that here in just a moment. So
Unless you want to get into it right now.
You ready?
I don't know what other games you want to talk about.
It's about that time. I think Arizona green tea. Big fan, Tim. I agree.
I still think the best tea on the market is. I'm a sucker for the Arnold Palmer, man.
I can't do it.
Good stuff.
I despise
Good stuff, man.
I despise sweet tea.
Okay.
I absolutely can't do it. Can't do anything about
a lemonade iced tea combo, man. It's good stuff.
All right, fair enough. And I know I'm in the minority. I get it. A lot of people drink sweet tea. I'm allegedly from the South. Whatever.
So you're not even a twisted tea guy for an alcoholic drink? Those aren't bad either.
No. Try Rowan's Creek. Best bourbon. Okay. I'm always about the good bourbon.
Yeah, King Me, that's true too. My dad's a big brisk guy. Good iced tea too.
Yep. Agreed. All right, let's do it, Scott. Let's get ready. You know what it is. It's hump day. We're back on track. It is time, everybody, to put on your overalls. Put on your good hump day overalls, whichever ones are lucky for you. Strap them up tight. Get your straw hat on. Climb aboard that John Deere. And pull your lucky rabbit's foot keychain out. And get ready, kids, because it's time to bet the farm. All right, Scott, we did have a bet the farm play yesterday. How'd we do?
We had the under in the Virginia St. Bonaventure game, and we ended up winning.
Cue the banjos! Yeah! All right. That's it. It's the Straw Hats, the much rumored, the much talked about, the much threatened John Deere Straw Hats are in place. We've also reached out to John Deere about sponsoring that segment. So we'll see how that goes. But in the meantime, hey, back to business. We've got a Bet the Farm play, and somebody talked about it. It is from the Orlando Magic and the Oklahoma City Thunder. We're going to play the under, guys, the under 221.5. That is available at -110 at BetMGM. Of course, don't forget to stop by. Check out the deal with BetMGM. Still, your initial bet is absolutely risk-free, up to $1,000. Check out all the details in the show notes description. And, of course, still have the NBA situation where if you bet $10 on any NBA game, somebody makes a three-pointer, $200 in your account. So make sure you check that out. But for this one, we're going to play the Magic Thunder under 221.5. Why would we do such a thing? Well, each of Orlando's last 2 games have had less than 185 points. Speaking of less than 185 points, these 2 games played back on March 20th. That doesn't seem like that long ago, Scott. Landed 175, buddy. 175. Oklahoma City, they are what you call not good on the offensive side of the ball. They rank 30th. And the only team that can make fun of them, Orlando, because they rank 29th. If you're scoring at home, that's last and second to the last. And finally, excuse me, guys, didn't even have time to grab the cough button. All right, finally, we talk about the status. We always want to look and see who's playing, who's hurt, who's going to go, and who ain't. We have 2 guys, 2 very important guys. Wendell Carter may not play for Orlando. He came back after an injury last night. He was kind of banged up again. I doubt he goes. On the other hand, Gilgeous Alexander, he's also questionable for this one, but he looks like he is in a position to go. He played the last game. He's still a little banged up, but we think he's probably going to go. But if those 2 guys miss or are not 100%, it even adds more fuel to this under fire. So that's going to be our Bet the Farm play, it is going to be once again the Orlando Magic and the Oklahoma City Thunder under 221.5. Scott?
Yeah. Also to add, Wendell Carter Jr. is averaging about 15 per game. The last game that landed 175, Orlando scored 90. Yeah, Wendell Carter had 30 of those 90.
Yikes.
So he really dominated the game. If he's out, that's a big loss for Orlando.
Yeah, that's huge. That's pretty much not a piece of their offense. It is their offense. So, all right, that's going to do it for the farm. That's going to do it for the Wednesday edition of Back to the Window. As always, we appreciate everybody stopping by. One more time, don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out everybody else on the Max Wagers Network. Cool place to be, cool people to work with. We always have a blast when they're on their shows, when we're on their shows. And don't forget, Allie's going to be on our show on Friday. She's going to be back after, I was going to say something rude. I'm not, after not being able to find her cat on last. And that was, I'm not making that up. That's why she missed the show. She had lost her cat. So she found the cat. Everything is right with the world. She'll be on the show Friday. And of course, don't forget to check us out Friday doing NASCAR. And we're doing double headers all next week with baseball, NASCAR, and WrestleMania. Full schedule, everybody. You guys are the best. Appreciate you stopping by. Appreciate all the comments. And good luck on all your plays today. Once again, we'll see you tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central. Scott and I do our very best to help you on that endless journey to head back to